Hello everybody, my name is Gannon Gann. I'm with the Governor's Office of Volunteer Services. I'm the Disaster Preparedness and Response Coordinator. Part of what I do is run the Ready Alabama campaign. And so I'm here today to talk to you about building a kit for your personal preparedness. So I'd like to go ahead and start by talking about some of the things that you can include in a personal kit that I have right in front of me. So some of the things that we like to encourage people to have in their preparedness kit to start is a weather radio. A weather radio is a good thing to have in your house. You know, it plugs into the wall, but most of them are also battery backup. So in the event that you have to leave your home or anything of the sort due to impending weather, you can actually take that with you and you still can receive alerts with it, even if it is just taking it down to, say, a cellar or a storm shelter. Some of the other things that we would encourage you to have is a first aid kit. First aid kits are super important. These little first aid kits are fairly inexpensive. And they're just 33 piece. They're good to have if you just need small bandages, things like that, if you get cuts or scrapes. Then we also would like to encourage you to have food. So these are shelf-stable meals. These are good for approximately 5 years without having to be changed. It's good to update your kit about every year, but these shelf-stable meals are good for several years to be within your kit. Another type of food that you can have is canned food. Canned food also has a long shelf life, and it doesn't have to be refrigerated or anything like that. One additional thing with this is we do have something to remind you to maybe bring something that you can store food in. For example, this can cover to cover canned foods once you've opened them. We also have duct tape. Duct tape is really good to have if you are in your home and one of your windows gets knocked out by a piece of debris. You can use that and some plastic sheeting to then cover up your windows so rain doesn't get indoors until you can get that repaired. We also have a flashlight for when the power goes out, extra batteries for that flashlight. Water. So water is an important thing to think about whenever you do preparedness kits. The average person needs a gallon of water per day. And so it's really important that you have either approximately a gallon or a little more than a gallon of water per person within your preparedness kit. An emergency whistle is really important thing to have as well. If you do become trapped in your home as rescue crews come through, it's a really good way to signal for them. It requires a lot less effort than trying to scream. And those whistles are incredibly loud. So those are also really important things to have within your kit. We have a little multi-tool, again, cutting duct tape if you have to cut bandages, anything like that. Multi-tools are super useful for that, including can opening. I also have right here a plastic bag with some money and copies of important documents such as Social Security cards, passports, birth certificates, things of that nature. Also insurance information, anything else that you can think of that you would need to have in the instance that you have to go and get medication or proof of identity for registrations for post-disaster registrations, things of that nature. So photocopies after a disaster will work for most things. Because almost everybody knows that there's been a disaster that's taken place, and these will serve the purpose until you can get official documents back in your possession. So those are some of the things that you would need to have in your personal preparedness kit. I did also want to talk a little bit about what you might need for a family kit. Family kits, you're going to want to have most of these things for each individual person within your family. So, and some of the other things that you might think about including is a change of clothes and a pair of closed-toed shoes. if you leave your house in open-toed shoes, whenever you come back, there might be debris and things like that. It's really important to have either closed-toed shoes on or in your kit for after a disaster takes place. I have more water in here. Again, 1 gallon per person per day is the most important thing to consider when you're talking about having enough water for everybody. We have a 1-day preparedness kit here. This is going to have some additional emergency drinking water, glow sticks, food. You could have multiples of these or create your own version of this with, again, some of the things that we mentioned here, but again, enough to take care of everybody within your family for up to 3 days. Up to 3 days is what we really encourage people to have in terms of how long you might need the things in your go kit. For example, I mean, if you evacuate for a hurricane, you would more than likely are going to be away from your residence for a length of time from 3 to 5 days. So therefore, your kit would be it would be important for your kit to be roughly the same. But yes. So we have first aid kits. First aid kits are you may want to have a couple of these if you are thinking about having 4 or more people in your family, just enough, especially if they're these small kits. If you have a more sizable first aid kit, you may only need 1. In my kit, I also have some additional emergency drinking water. This is shelf-stable water. It lasts for like 20 years on a shelf, where bottled water is usually only good for about 1 year or 2 years. And so these are a couple of good things to have, especially if you haven't refreshed your kit in a while. Let's put that right here. And one really important thing is I have my little stuffed animal here. My little stuffed animal is a reminder to think about children when you pack your kits if you have them. So, disasters can be stressful, and it's really important that you can think about having some comfort items for your child, a blanket, a stuffed animal as such, or even coloring books, things like that, things to help keep the kids occupied and not so focused on the changes that happen, relocations and things like that have to happen during disaster times. So lastly, I just have an additional storage container here. This storage container is something that you can use in lieu of a backpack. This is waterproof. You can also purchase pre-made kits from several different places that come in these watertight containers, and they are good on shelves for 5 to 10 years, generally speaking. So that's all for me, guys. If you have any questions about the things that I've talked about today, please leave us a comment in our Facebook feed, Instagram. Leave us a comment on Twitter as well. Send us a direct message if you don't want to leave a comment. We will get to those as quick as possible and answer as many questions as we possibly can. All right, thanks, guys. Hey everybody, I just wanted to thank you so much for watching our video. We are doing more videos coming up in the future. We are doing things for National Preparedness Month, like giveaways and social media posts. So be sure to give us a follow on all of our social media. It's Ready Alabama across all platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Also, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask us down in the comment section below on anything we post. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate it, and y'all have a good day.